Hi there crafters, it's Louise with you of Timeless Craft Mama, and today I'm sharing a scrapbook layout for Scrapbook Boutique, and I've titled this page Little Cutie. Now it's using the pen and ink collection from Kaisercraft, which I really feel like has this great neutral palette. So depending on what colour you chose to team with it, you could actually end up with quite a feminine layout, or in this case, quite a masculine layout. Now, what I'm working on at the moment is pictures of my wonderful husband from when he was a baby and putting together an album. So these pictures sort of have that kind of vintage feel, and what I actually do is scan them and then process them on the computer and then reprint them. So I'm not actually scrapping the original photos, I'm just scrapping a copy of that photo. So looking at the collection, you can see that I've chosen this sort of striped paper, and I'm doing a lot of paper tearing to create interest in the background, and also just layering some of the collectibles about. Now, what I find so easy to use when I'm creating is all the elements from the one collection. So in this case, you've got your 12 by 12 papers. There's also the 6 by 6 paper pad. If you choose, you get a sticker sheet, and then you've got the packet of collectibles as well. So lots of things that you can fussy cut, lots of things that you can use to create those layers of interest and embellishing. So, that's what I was going to say, was about the craft background that I'm using. So anyone who's watched a lot of my videos will note that I use white cardstock backgrounds most of the time, or a patterned paper which I've treated with some gesso. But in this case, I was, toying with the idea of using white, and when I went to grab some cardstock, I actually ended up pulling out this piece of craft, and I really love the effect that it's given onto, combined with that pen and ink collection. So a little bit of stamping in the background as well. Nothing too technical here. I'm simply using the distress ink. This is not a stamp from the actual pen and ink collection. It's purely just one that I had in my stash. So it's clocks, which also featured in this collection. So that's why I chose to use what I already had in my stash. Now, this stencil, again, also from my stash. When I'm building layers, I like to have something behind the stack of the photo and the paper. So when I'm building, so from the bottom up, we have paper, some kind of mixed media background, then more paper layers, then embellishing. So in this case, I've used the Colour Blast paste in leather just through the stencil, and I really like this. I think it just looks so right on the page. It's got that clock theme going on. The layout itself is about time, because it's, the journaling will be from somewhere around the 1980s and things like that. So I really like how this is coming together, and the elements of this collection just make it so easy. Now, using a couple of stickers and some backgrounds, I want to try and work out my title before I add a little bit more mixed media into that background. So I've taken just the one title word, and then I'm also going to create the second part of the title just using thickers from my stash. Now, the distress crayons in the metallics, I haven't used them a lot, and that's more just through circumstance. I haven't really found anything that I've wanted to use them on, but again, I felt like this sort of still needed something in the background just to sort of bring it together. And my normal go-to would have probably been like some splatters, some colour ink, and you'll see I do add some of those as well. But I kind of was thinking about these lines, so I'm just adding some subtle, because they do sort of blend into the final layout, and it's not till you watch the actual video that you really start to notice them. So just with the distress crayon, adding it straight on, you don't need any gesso or anything, and then smudging it with your finger. Now then, I'm using colour sprays in leather again, and the bling as well, just adding a little bit of a pop of gold. So Also, one of the things that you won't see on my videos is much of the heat gun. I tend to leave things to dry overnight, so I'll just pop them aside and come back next time I'm in my craft space and actually finish off a page. So it's not often that I will use a heat gun, and in this case, yeah, just left it to dry overnight. So finally, a little bit of journaling. Off camera, I've gone ahead and stuck everything down. What I tried to do with this page was sort of avoid too much of the florals and the butterflies, so you can see I've gone with more of a clock theme. So I thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed that layout from me, something a little bit different, and definitely pop over to the Scrapbook Boutique store and grab some of the pen and ink collection to get creating. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.